Yo, what's up, friends? So I just left a local contracting company that hired me to do a project for them. It was the drainfield project. There's probably pictures or something, I don't know. Anyways, but it did a really big drain field and septic system, both size-wise, price-wise, all that. They were too busy, hired me to do it. I would call it a reputable company. I know the guys do good work. However, I let a couple things slide, and I'm telling you guys this so you know just what potential risks are, and you can use this lesson to help you avoid situations like this. And it's not even that, like, I'm not worried about it. It's just you got to stay on top of things like this, and I think it's really important. So when you're bidding jobs, and I'm kind of talking to, well, younger guys who want to get into this. So when you're bidding jobs and giving quotes, RFPs, all that kind of stuff, make sure that you have a very clear written contract, and you have to come up with a number, whether it's $1,000, $2,500, $5,000, that anything over X amount you require half down up front before you even start. That's going to help you cash flow. So a lot of times for those of you who are just getting started, you can take that. That's how you can start with no money. Okay, you don't need any money to get started in excavation dirt work. You can just write a contract out. Well, okay, it's a $10,000 job. I need $5,000 up front to get started. And now, when you're just getting started, that $5,000 might not be enough to cover all your expenses for that job. So how do you work that out? Well, you can talk to your rental company, and that would be, and this is starting, this is for those of you who are just starting out, don't have any equipment, maybe a pickup truck and a trailer to haul it with, that's it. But you can go ahead and take that money, that first $5,000 that you get, maybe do a third of the rental price up front, because just work out something with the rental company and say, listen, here's the contract, I've got this much money coming in, I'm going to need this much for fuel, this much for labor, whatever it is. And you can work things that way. So that's one way to get started without having your own equipment and without having any money. So money's never a barrier to entry in this stuff. There's always a way. If you've got the work, there's always a way to figure out how to get the money and make the money work. Okay, so back to this situation in contract. Just make sure you have a super clear. It doesn't have to be like a long dissertation or a big, huge pamphlet of stuff. Like, it doesn't need to be that complicated. It's just got to be simple. XYZ company, in my case Avery Excavating, agrees to perform this work, whether it's a drain field, whether it's a driveway, a road, any XYZ work for X amount of dollars. Let's just call it $10,000. Okay, and just have it at the bottom there. All jobs over, the way I do it, every job over $2,500 requires a 50% down payment. Now, that is, most of all my jobs are over that. The only time that I will allow that to slide, and if it's $2,600, no dice. If it's $2,800, no dice. If it's $5,000, like, you're paying half up front, or I'm not showing up. The only way that I will let that slide is if I know the person already, if I've already done business with them. If I've already done business with them, like, no problem, we'll just get on it, like, we'll take care of it better. And doing business with them means that they paid quick, they paid the 50% down up front. There's some stipulations, I guess. So doing business before, I've already experienced the whole process with them. They've experienced my sales workmanship process with me, so it's good. You're going to get paid. It's super confident. So you've already done business, you can go ahead and and I've done that before, and they still are like, well, how much, what do you need? You need like $2,000-3,000 up front? Like, sure, that's fine, and you just take it. So it's always good to get that up front. So with that being said, this job, I went against all those rules, right? And I'll tell you why. It was a referral from another mentor / really good friend of mine. He owns an excavating company. This company was in a jam. Not going to name the company. Doesn't matter.
they needed help to get this done. They just didn't have the manpower time to do it. So I did it, gave them a bid, gave them a price. It was $9,600, I think. So I technically should have received a check for $5,000. Okay. But because I really know my friend / mentor, and he was like, yeah, just do it, like, it'll be good, la da 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 da. You know, I was like, all right, let's just go get this thing started. And with that being said, too, I also wanted to do work for this company. So there's two companies. One's my friends that I know, cool, totally fine. The other company is the one who owes me money. Okay. So, I wanted to do work for them because I'm like, oh, this would be cool. Like, you know, I could get more work from them, which still very likely. You know, there's no bad blood. There's no sketchiness. I just talked to the receptionist. She's like, I'm so sorry. Like, well, like I'm calling. Like, we're gonna get a check. Like, well, I'll call you as soon as we have it ready. So I feel good about that. But I went against all my rules, and that's why I'm in this situation. So before this situation has gotten bad, I have done, I think, 5 emails. I've got an email thread. There's like 8 back and forth or 10 back and forth emails between myself and the secretary. So there's been that going on. I gave them the invoice on December 4th, maybe beginning of December. I don't remember when I did. And just like, I'm just following up. You know, 30 days is generally a good number, you know, that you get paid 30 days after. However, I started the job back at the beginning of November. So this is, I mean, it's 2 months going on now. Like, I've put all this time, energy, work, and there's no dime coming out of it. So there's just things like this is real life. This is real life, just excavating construction. Like, and I'm on a smaller scale. My buddy downstate, like, he's on larger scales with this. And it's, the point is, here's what we're saying. So it's not bad. The situation didn't get bad. We've had follow-up email. Oh, excuse me. We've had follow-up emails. I went over there Monday, the day after Christmas this year. There was a very slim office going on. There was only one lady in the office. And she's like, it was all torn apart. They're getting painted and everything. And she's like, sorry, you know. So then it was the week between New Year's. So there's been the holidays that have kind of gotten in the way of this as well. But by me going there personally and, you know, just very politely, kindly asking, like, hey, just want to check in on this. You know, I really don't have a clear answer on when a check's getting cut, or I never got any confirmation. Like, I've already done the work. We didn't do the 50% down. So I really need to know. Like, I'm a small business. You know, that money needs to come in. I'm going to need that money. I need to depend on that to get me through the winter. So I did that the first time, and then yesterday it was a perceived holiday. I don't know if they're going to be working, and I emailed yesterday morning, which was Monday morning. Today is Tuesday, and I woke up this morning and I was like, if I don't get an email reply back by noon on Tuesday, I'm running over there. Just dropping by. I'm not coming over being a dick or being rude or anything. Like, it's 1:51 and 1:51, and on the way, stopped in. Place is bustling over there. They got a lot of things going. The front desk receptionist was super nice. The office manager, I guess, she was very nice, very apologetic. Like, I'm calling her right now. Let me, got your number. I'll call you as soon as it's ready, and we'll get it over here. She's like, I'll have a check for you. So we'll see what happens. I mean, really just sharing this story with you guys so that, contracts, even if it's, I'm kind of bad sometimes at like $1,000 jobs because I don't do contracts. But the other thing up here is there's a lot of good people up here. There's a lot of people, and I can go to a house and see, he's got a couple snowmobiles in his garage, not this guy, but another job. They've got these toys and these things and, nice vehicles, and the house is clean and well kept. There's all these signs that you can just look at and read from people in their environment on how they will most likely pay. So a lot of times too with smaller jobs,
like a day job or whatever, you know, I'll just go do it. Generally, it's always, you know, I get a check right then and there, and it's never a problem. I've had one where it took like a couple weeks, but they were up front. They got, you know, they're like, well, we're sorry, we just got behind, like, we'll give you a check. And then she ended up paying like 2 weeks ahead of schedule. So it's really, I don't think, you just got to stay on top of it, and stay on top of it in a polite and professional way. And I think, like, it would really have to get drug out another probably a month from this situation that I'm in now for me to you know, say, go ahead and, like, okay, we're going to take some legal action here and go about it that way. But at the end of the day, I think all these situations, waiting to get paid on your jobs, on your projects, one of the most important things is to keep a cool, level head about it. I know there's money involved, and I know we all depend on money to make these businesses go round, our lives go round, electricity on, fuel in the tank, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's really important, at the beginning of the day too, to have a level head about things. Like, it's just money. You don't necessarily know what other people are going through. Sometimes they won't tell you, and that's, you know, not the best thing, but it would help for your sanity. But to keep a level head about these things, and to do them, handle them as professionally and as, I guess, kindly as possible. Just because, you know, there's no reason. I see these comments, or I saw something on Instagram where it was like someone owed somebody money, and, you know, there were comments on there, just go punch him in the face, or just go, you know, slash his tires, or dump a load of dirt in his driveway, or X, Y, Z, or whatever. And, like, you're just adding fuel to the fire in that case. It's not good to handle situations like that with that type of attitude. And in my opinion, I mean, other people may disagree, and that's fine, but you got to handle things like this. Just, you know, people forget. I've forgotten to pay bills, and then it's you know, it's either a mistake, man, like I'm over there, and you try and pay it and give them a check, or at least let them know what's going on, you know. So there's always things that happen, and I'm probably a really small, I got to be a small bill. They've got a ton of equipment over there. They probably got a couple $1 million in equipment over there. So this little $10,000 check that I'm waiting on, while it's important to me, is, you know, just one of their payables, probably. You know, they probably spend 10 grand in fuel a week, for example. So that's the story there. There was one other thing I wanted to say about that. Funny enough, there is a guy who I did a job for. I'll tell you this story. He had me go Harley rake a lawn for him because he was going to lay sod. I said I'd do it for $550 after I went and looked at it. Went over there, did it. It took me like an hour and a half, and I had like an hour both ways in truck. So I had like 3 hours into it. So I said, no, like, let's not call it $550. How about we'll call it $400? I did that job. He told me he was going to pay me the next day. This was, man, when was this? September. No, it was October. It had to be October. Middle of October. This was like damn near 3 months ago. Still haven't seen a dime, and he keeps giving me a runaround. Now this one, it's $400, okay? It's a lot of money in a sense, right? But it's not, okay? I've texted him, called him a couple times. I just have been getting the runaround on it. So I've really been like kind of letting karma handle this. Like, I don't know how karma's gonna handle it, but I know, very confident karma's gonna handle this. And there ain't no way in hell I'm gonna do any more work for him until he pays me. And then if he wants me to do more work, his ass is gonna have to pay me up front, because, you know, 3 months on $400 is just way too long. So that's just another scenario of like getting money and making sure you're gonna get paid and all that stuff. So it's really important to have clear contracts, know your boundaries, know your limitations, know what you will let slide and what you won't let slide, and how much you will let slide and how much you won't let slide. So I hope this helps. Appreciate you guys watching.
Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Appreciate you watching, and we'll talk soon. See you later.